Hey guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, gonna do an update to the video I did a few days ago, which was titled, I dumped/blocked my girlfriend after she displayed major red flags of cheating and she hates your channel. And guys, as a quick review, that's about the young guy who broke up with his girlfriend of 3 years after some very suspicious activity. She claimed to him that she was talking to some guy in her apartment complex or whatever, like an hour. And although that had its own level of suspicions given her behavior, he then informed her that he ran into the guy the other day. They were talking, told her it was her birthday recently, wished her a happy birthday, and she freaked out. Just went freaking nuts on him, Very suspicious activity. Clearly something was up with that guy, and I had my theories on that, and so did you guys in the comment section. He was done with her BS, broke up with her by text, blocked her, and of course all his friends and family are saying he made a huge mistake, his life is over because over one chick and all that. And he wanted to know my opinion about the whole thing. Did he make a mistake? Theories, all that. And by the way, as you all recall, she hates me, hates my channel and all that, which says a lot in my opinion. And so you guys had lots of questions and comments, and so he's here responding to many of the top questions and comments and providing an update as to what's happened with her. And let me tell you, when you hear about their encounter, that's the best way to describe the encounter and how she behaves, that is going to tell you everything that this guy made the right decision, because this chick is batshit crazy. And I know you all love the batshit crazy stories, so you're going to get your money's worth by watching me today. So he continues on with his update. He says, hello SSM. This is the guy that ended up breaking up with his girl over her getting defensive over me telling another guy about her birthday. Thanks for the advice from you and this community, as I did watch the video and read all the comments. Told you guys, your comments help, and the guys will read every comment. I didn't think I'd be replying back, but I have an update. But first, I want to address some comments that I saw and give some backstory to mine and her relationship. And you can cut whatever you want out if you think it's too long. Brother, it's never too long. We all like good long stories as long as they're good. First, no, I did not give the dude the birth year or how old she is, so it couldn't have been because I told him her age. Was I giving him an opening to talk to her? Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I was. But then again, if she was already talking to him, I certainly can't stop her from talking to him, even if I wanted to. And if she was going to cheat on me or leave me for him, good riddance to bad trash. I'm always of the opinion that if she leaves me for someone else, she was never mine to begin with, and I will never fight to keep a woman. Well, good, because guess what? There are billions of them, okay? There's no one that's so special and amazing and all that. Sure, you can have gals out there that you click with, have a good time with, but to put yourself through a lot of BS for this one chick, that's crazy. And not to mention the fact that that'll make her not respect you and treat you like dog crap. I never thought that the interaction between them could have been in his or her apartment alone for an hour, as I figured it was the lobby or community room of the apartment building or something like that. That was obviously dumb and trusting of me to not think at least of that possibility. If I ever found out that that was the case, that would have been an instant breakup on its own. Could have been a test to see how I'd react when she told me that they talked for an hour, to see how I react? Possibly, but I'm the wrong type to do tests with because I just don't play. Yeah, well, unfortunately, women love to play. They love to throw tests. Even the better ones are going to do it to test the guy's strength, see how he's going to react. They develop those tactics when they're little girls to see what they can get away with their fathers and their brothers. That's when they recognize the manipulation tactics and all that. How many of you guys have seen little girls where they don't get their way and they can go from being calm to crying their eyes out, really making the tears come out like that, and then turn them off? I've witnessed this many times. Little kids in my family and other people I knew have children. And this becomes a art form when they reach adulthood, as well, you're going to see in this story. If she was hinting that he was my replacement, then the answer would be bye-bye with him then. Almost 4 billion women are on the earth, and she is replaceable. Exactly. Remember that, gentlemen, you relationship guys. Things don't work out with your girl, there's always another one coming down the road. Really. I don't think she got mad because he was a creeper and didn't want him talking to her anymore. She would have told me that instead of telling me they talked for over an hour, so I can handle if there was a problem. I've told her before, if anybody bothers her, I will handle it. And she has certainly told me about problem men before that was bothering her, and I handled that. And she has zero issues telling me that. Hell, If she wants me to confront every man that looked at her funny, some may disagree, but I'm not going to fight everyone that she thinks looked at her a certain way in the street. No one, especially a woman, is worth going to jail over someone on the street just looking at her when they're not doing or saying anything. Yes, there are a lot of gals out there, unfortunately, that will let's be honest, most make mountain out of molehills from time to time because they are emotional creatures. But there are gals that deliberately will start shit and hoping to see that their guy will stand up to them because they enjoy seeing their guy fight for them and all that. It's not worth it. If you're with a gal like that, get out of it. You don't need to wind up in jail or have a record because of her, because she likes to start little fights and all that and get off on the guy's fighting over her. And there are girls like that. Says here, that'd be really stupid on my part. Also, I'm not going to confront the neighbor and ask what the nature of the relationship was. I really see no point, to be honest, and not dumb enough to go into that building again so she can say I'm stalking her. He says, is it possible, or this is a response to a lot of questions and comments. He also says, is it possible that she saw this video? It is possible, but I doubt she goes around looking up this type of content, as she had an issue with me watching it, even when I told her that he is a moderate in his RP YouTube land. It actually defends women as well when it's warranted. And as far as I know, she hasn't seen it yet, but it would be funny if she sends SSM an email telling her side of the story. Well, I can guarantee you guys that if this guy's gal sends me an email, I will most certainly read it. But the likelihood is, given her state of mind and emotions, which you're about to hear in about a couple minutes, the email would probably be her calling me every dirty name ever created since mankind crawled out of the caves and began speaking with each other, which of course you guys would find funny as hell, which then of course I will certainly do a video on. So if she writes to me an email, whether it's logically explaining her side of the story or calling me every name known to man, you guys will hear it. I promise that. At the end of the day, I did and still do care about her, but I'm not going to lie to myself and others and say that I love or loved her. If I didn't care about her, however, I wouldn't have put up with her childish behavior for almost 3 years, and yeah, calling you strong, sucky male was not an isolated childish moment, as it would have been unlikely her childish behavior started just because of you, but you just her reaction towards your videos made it obvious. Well, bro, if you've been with her for 3 years, and he says she acts childish quite regularly, as a grown-ass man, you don't need that bullshit. Even if you're a young-ass man, you don't need that bullshit. You're in different planes. And again, I said in the other video, it didn't seem like it broke your heart that much to end it with her. So obviously you weren't that into her. So it's a good time to end it and move on and go down a different path. He says, she also knew from the start how I was, and I'm not going to say I love you unless I truly mean it, and I don't want her to say it unless she truly means it. I still treated her great, as I took her out on dates twice a month. Nothing fancy, just a movie or to the park and a cheap dinner out. Well, maybe she felt that she wanted more, but of course didn't tell you. I also try to spend at least one day a week with just me and her, as I do believe in putting in effort in a relationship if she deserves that effort. I knew the relationship was in trouble when she started asking about marriage and engagement, which I always shot down, as it's not the government's place to define my relationship. So she's dropping hints about marriage and everything, and you were always striking that down. Interesting. He says, now to the update. Now, you've all been waiting. He had to respond to the questions and comments. I took your advice and told all of my friends and family that the breakup was my decision, and you were either with me or against me on this, and regardless, I'm done with the conversation about it, and if it keeps getting mentioned, I will stop coming around. Good. I wouldn't have used the with me, against me thing, because that could set people off in the wrong way, but essentially you're saying that. It's not their business. You're a grown-ass man, and you had good reason to end it with her, and believe me, I know you had good reason to end it with her. If they actually listen, only time will tell, but I'm going to stand firm and trust my gut on what I did at the end of the day. It was the right decision. It was the right decision, bro. The last time I didn't trust my gut and red flags and waited for proof, I was miserable for almost a year until I actually caught her cheating on me with the guy I suspected she was cheating on me with. But that is another story for another time. So he means a previous girlfriend, not this girl. For me, trust is the foundation of any relationship, and if I can no longer trust her, right or wrongly, I shouldn't be in that relationship. Yes, gentlemen, trust is paramount. You cannot have any relationship without trust. I figured once I let her friends and family know how I felt about this entire thing, that it was over, and I was sadly mistaken and optimistic. I came home from work today, so he literally wrote this after this shit that's about to go down happened. I came home from work today, and she was sleeping on a bench at my doorstep. Sleeping on a bench? I have no clue how long she was there, but apparently for a while, for her to be sleeping on my doorstep like a homeless woman. I had recorded my phone and went over to her and woke her up and asked her what she was doing. She said she missed me and couldn't get a hold of me, and we could please talk so she can tell her side of the story. Well, this way people can't say you didn't listen to her side of the story, but she showed up sleeping at your doorstep. That's pretty funny. I figured we'd been together for almost 3 years, so I should give her the chance to say what she wants to say. I told her I am willing to talk to her inside of my place if she wants to talk to me rationally or logically, and the second she starts to scream and start cussing me in the conversation, it will end instantly, and she'll be asked to leave. Well, I would have talked to her outside, in a public place, not inside your place, but at least you're recording and, you know. She agreed, so I let her come inside with me. When I came in, she started to cry and said she didn't mean to overreact and that she is so sorry and she'll never do it again and we should work this out. He says, side note, I never get how women can just go from somewhat calm to crying like a baby in a few seconds flat. Because of what I told you 2 minutes ago. They start as little girls. They're not getting their way and they can, because let's be honest, women have an emotion-based CPU, a processor, operating system, whatever the hell you want to call it. And yes, they are emotional, will react to their emotions quicker than a guy would, but also they've learned the art of turning them on and off like that. You've seen little girls just crying because they want the fucking Barbie at the toy store, and then they get their Barbie and whoosh, well, there goes the tears. You get my point. And they master that to the adulthood where they can whip them out just like that. I told her I forgive her and don't have any hard feelings towards her, but my mind is made up, and regardless of what happened over the phone, I feel like the relationship has run its course. There you go. Speaking calm, being logical, all that. Good for you. You gotta be calm here because she's flying off the handle and going nuts here. And yes, it has run its course because obviously you're in different places and places of maturity. She started crying for a while and blamed her overreaction and feeling that I was implying more was going on with him on a mental condition, and a mental condition that she has called ODD. Here we go. It's not my fault. I have a mental condition making me do what I do. Therefore, it's not my fault. ODD, my ASS lady. She said she will get help and put on meds if I stay with her and not leave her for it, which wasn't the first time she blamed her immaturity on ODD. Again, not my fault. It's the ODD. Well, why don't you see a doctor about this type of thing beforehand? I told her she should get the help because she wants to, not because of me. And if you're going to get help for that condition, you would have gotten help by now, not as a last resort to keep me. Exactly. She started crying even more and said that she loved me, which is something she never said before, as she knows how I feel about that word, and it shouldn't be used unless you mean it, as it is often overused in a relationship. I told her you don't say you love me unless you mean it, and not as a last resort tactic to take you back. She said she does love me and she wanted to tell me a while ago, but was scared of how I would react. I honestly don't know if she loves me or not, as certainly I'm no mind reader, but I still suspect she said that to get me to change my mind. Whether she did feel that way or not, at this point is irrelevant because you're done. You know? And yes, she's most certainly saying this now to get you to change your mind in this major act of desperation here. I told her even if you love me, it's not enough for me to take you back. She then said she will not be with anyone else until I take her back. Well, you're going to be alone for a long time, honey. I told her that would be her choice, but it would be a waste of time. That statement must have made her mad because she started screaming at me and said she can't live without me. I knew what she was implying, so I told her that the conversation is over and she is starting to talk stupid and to leave. So here we go. The waterworks, and now it's gone on to screaming at him and basically implying that if I can't have you, I might do something awful to end myself. Again, does this sound like girlfriend material to you? Someone that's stable and you can build a relationship with and trust and all that? No. That, I guess, was the final straw, her being somewhat calm. She started to scream that she can't... I wrote that part. blah, blah, blah. Where the hell is this? Oh, no, there's more screaming here. She'll do anything. I just take her back and other things, as at this point that I did not understand, as she was in full-on blubbering mode. Well, you need your Tuscan writer to English dictionary to translate the blubbering going on. I again asked her to leave. So we're all hearing this, crying, meltdown, speaking Tuscan Raider. You can't understand the fuck she's saying with her blubbering going on. And now you're telling her to leave. This is not going anywhere. We're done. Please leave. She won't leave. She then proceeded to start taking her shirt off and says she can make it better. That we should have sex so I can start loving her again. Are you crazy and potentially be accused of Lord knows what? And that really this is your last resort, your body to rope me in? I don't know why she thought that would work, as no self-respecting guy would actually fall for that. Bro, you'd be surprised. I'm a pretty calm person. I was calm to this point, but I lost it. I told her to get the hell out of my house before I called the law and put her out. That this entire conversation is being recorded, and you likely said enough to have you committed for a psych evaluation. Her eyes got real big. Uh-oh. The crazy eyes. I'm sure your girls had crazy eyes all these years. You probably just didn't know to look for crazy eyes. Her eyes got real big, but she said she will leave, but I will change my mind and she will fix this. God's sakes. At this point, I was completely done with the situation, so I did not respond. That probably made her more crazy. I'm not trying to process this, as this has just happened less than an hour ago. I'm wondering, how can I be so stupid? I had no idea, no clue that she was this crazy, as I guess I did not want to see it. Possible. At the end of the day, I don't know if she cheated on me or not, or even want to. But at this point, it doesn't even matter, as she likely just wants the drama of me getting worked up over another man to possibly feed her ego, and he probably doesn't understand why I won't take the bait. Well, you're not taking the bait because you're not like a lot of guys out there. You know, you've learned a lot of things not to take the bait. And very much so, her mental state really has me questioning a lot of things. And of course, she likes a whole bunch of fucking drama. But you, as a man who doesn't need drama in your life and trying to have a nice, stable life, as all guys want to have, well, most guys, what she felt or any of these things is irrelevant, because it's over. End of story. But what I tell you about women hating rejection and losing their goddamn minds. If I'm honest with myself, I wasn't really happy in the relationship and shouldn't have stayed in the relationship as long as I did. A lot of people do. To be honest, I shouldn't have to deal with her immaturity, and the phone call and the gut feelings was the last straw that broke the camel's back. If she contacts me again, I will use voice recording to try to get a restraining order on her. I'm done with relationships likely forever, as they are not worth my time. Well, get in line, man, because there's dudes all over the world that have come to realize this and have the same viewpoint as you. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. My advice as is likely not needed on this channel, is to stay single and certainly don't have kids. Over 8 billion people on the planet with growing by the second, and we don't need any more. I agree with you there. A vasectomy was the best $1,200 I ever spent, and I recommend everyone to get one if it's a worthwhile investment. So you had a vasectomy, huh? Interesting. Well, you don't have to worry about what could happen if you didn't get a vasectomy. Well, that's a choice that a lot of guys will make one day, and I highly recommend all guys really think that over before they do that. But anyhow, there you go, guys. She proved through her actions who she is. She showed her hand, and she is unstable. She's mental. Now, sure, anybody being broken up with is going to be upset and everything, but this goes to a whole new level. And it's just proven exactly why you ended it with her. And I think that, yeah, a lot of people stay in relationships far longer than they should. You know, they stick around thinking things will get better, or maybe, I don't know, I spent so much time, I invested so much time with this person, male or female, whatever, because if you're a woman thinking this or a guy thinking this, people stay too long, and by the time they're done, they're done. End of freaking story. So move on, and I guarantee you, this will not be the last you hear from her. She's gonna be parked out in your bench in front of your apartment or house again, and she's not gonna take it easy. And a lot of gals, when it comes, women hate rejection, period, and they react to it two ways. Either one, they have meltdowns, like you heard here, and become so obsessed with the guy that broke up with her, they just won't stop coming. Or two, they seek absolute revenge. So be prepared for both, because she isn't getting her way this way Now you may get the revenge. So I'm glad you recorded the whole debacle that was going on. I wouldn't have let her in your apartment. And be aware that you may be hearing from her again, or other people, or the police show up at your door suddenly because she said something. You just never know. But as I said before, it's over, and this backs up what I said in the other video. Regardless if something was actually going on with that guy. And just take it one day at a time, but be prepared that you may be having a chat with the police one way or another. And if you have to do a restraining order, do a restraining order, because you should have be able to enjoy your life with peace and not have all this turmoil coming in because of her. And as for relationships, I don't blame you at all. Now, not every gal out there is going to behave like her. Let's be honest here, okay? You just picked yourself a wacko. Man, and unfortunately, there are a lot of wackos out there. So take it one day at a time, and just be careful. Be careful. Just do anything. You may find your car keyed, or a freaking knife in your tire. I hope. At best, I hope that's the least of your worries. But just be aware of that. So, bro, keep me posted on how things are going with your crazy ex, and we will all very much enjoy it. And of course, if she emails me, and I can only imagine the email I might get, I will most certainly share with you guys, whether it's a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video. I've had women, I did a video a couple of years ago, a woman was writing me, it must have been 15 minutes of insults. It was hilarious. And of course I had to do it. So, alright guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below, let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. Let him know that he obviously made the right decision breaking up with her, given her whole charade that was going on in this whole video here. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.